Coming to you from the studios at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66, it's the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock the city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here ever around.
Hey everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Hollywood Mike.
Hello, Hollywood Mike. How are you today?
Lovely, lovely Wednesday.
It is a Wednesday.
Yeah, it is. It's been a long day. It's been a long week, actually.
Has it? How come?
It has. Just, everywhere I go, everybody's got this flu thing. That's going on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, and I've got like 4 people that they have bronchitis, and it's like weird. Stay away from me.
Yeah.
I start wearing garlic and carrying a cross with me.
Yeah, now they're saying the dogs are getting it too. The dogs have got some kind of respiratory thing and it's killing them.
Hey, don't talk about my friends that way.
I'm sorry, but if they have it, they have it.
Yeah,
that's the way it is.
That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Yeah. So what we got going on tonight?
Well, tonight we have the honor of a person that we interviewed a long. You weren't here at that time. It was Paul and myself, and he holds the record of the only person that we interviewed that got a 2-part podcast.
Did he change his name?
No. He just got a 2-part podcast. We talked for so long that we had to break it up into 2 weeks.
Wow.
But now tonight he brought this lovely lady with him.
Okay. And
so this is going to be a much nicer podcast than it was back then.
See, that's what it is. That's why they showed up at 4 o'clock today.
They also showed up at 4, which we will find out about shortly. But
well, he knew he was going to talk for twice as long, so he was excited to show up.
So coming to you from episode 24 and 25, it's Gregg Potter and Cathy
Rich.
All right. So that's what, so since they don't know when to stop talking or anything, I'm assuming he's a drummer.
Oh. Well, you can only tell that because when I do talk, it speeds up. I'm just saying.
I hear you.
We usually go into the musicians' jokes later in the podcast.
We're going to start off early.
Get right to it.
Hey, can you check if my riser's straight? Is the drool coming out of both sides of my mouth?
Yeah.
A little higher on the right, please.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one side.
Yeah, you got to take a hanky, keep wiping off the ride. And,
That's it. Yeah.
So apparently they got a reminder today to come to the podcast, and it said it was 4 p.m., but it was Pacific time.
Pacific time. Okay.
Yes. I have to find out why they're sending it out like that, because
we're not.
It was right. It was right.
Oh, right.
It's 6
you guys,
o'clock
6
here.
o'clock. You guys are right.
But,
So we've been here since 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you guys do?
Exactly. We stole so many T-shirts. It's like being on tour with Lynyrd Skynyrd, 1972. We're gonna actually start selling that stuff on eBay. Now Ronnie Romero's gone, so I'm gonna actually start taking some of the. I think I've got Rick Nielsen's guitar already in the car.
Oh wow, yeah.
Let's see. What else did we take? What are those awards up there?
What is that?
I don't know. They look like
We'll take those too.
Yeah, we're gonna take the awards up there. We got a bunch of shirts.
Oh, those look like the
what are they?
Those look like the little statues that they give the inductees. That's what those are.
For the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
Perfect.
I don't have one of those yet.
Not yet.
You do have an Emmy, though.
That is true.
Really?
I won an Emmy in 2009.
For what?
Wow. CBS television.
Okay.
It was me, Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick, and another fellow. We were playing at the Grammy Museum.
Okay.
Chicago Grammy headquarters.
Right.
And it was filmed as like a news piece. And what they do with these how do people win? Well, I mean, it wasn't like we were up against, the cast of Dynasty and MASH. Right. It was like, it was us against like a plane crash, Rick Nielsen and Potter playing, and a children's choir from Nairobi.
Okay.
And we won. It was edited. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I didn't.
But you won.
But I won an Emmy Award. There's one right in our kitchen.
That's pretty cool.
It looks just like that.
So was it?
So it's a CBS television live performance news.
Okay.
Something I could read. The plaque on the thing is bigger than the thing. It wraps around. It doesn't say like an Academy Award would just say, best actor.
Right.
or actually a real or an Emmy Award would be best primetime.
Right.
You know, this is like it's more. It was based on it being a news program, but like I'm saying, I won it playing my drums. I wasn't like building homes for the homeless, and Potter won it, or I wasn't on TV at a plane crash and they went, "My God, he walked by, he looked like a pilot. He won an." I was really playing. I was really playing my drums.
So it was for a live performance on a news program.
On a news program for CBS television, CBS News. So,
I've never even heard of that before. It's like, how would they word that?
No.
well,
An Emmy for live performance on a news broadcast goes to
You have that?
Hold on.
Those are usually the ones that they give out that they don't do them on TV.
Right.
Correct.
They're the ones that are done on like Thursday nights.
right.
That's it.
Yes. I'm trying to see if I have a picture in my phone of that plaque.
Which our podcast listeners are just waiting to see.
You mean, then why did you guys have me send you videos? I mean, you're not going to get to see this?
Not this part of it, but
There's another part?
Well, then
Yes,
what
we
I'll
do
do
commercials
is I'll send I'll send the actual like the plaque
Front.
Right.
so you see exactly how and then you can
send it. We can put it on
maybe speak
Facebook
to
and
the-
people can see it.
right.
There
you
you
could
go.
speak to the Grammy Foundation or the Emmy Foundation and say
Why?
why is that the wrong title?
Right. And what the Emmy trophy is that I'm thinking the Golden Globes. The Golden
Globes
is
got like the
globe with,
world.
like the okay.
This
I'm
is
trying
the
to think.
woman holding a thing, like she's standing.
Right.
It's
Okay.
quite large.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
It's made by the same company here in Chicago that makes the Academy Awards.
Oh, no kidding.
So I mean,
Wow.
it's all legit and it's heavy. And yes, in real life, they only give 2. If you want the other one, like
Right.
if you had 5 guys in your group,
Right.
you pay for the
Got to
other
pay for
ones.
extras.
They give you- actually, they may have given 1. And I think Rick Nielsen got the 1 and I had to pay for 1. And when you go to the awards, you pay to bring your little mom with you.
That's
Wow.
what I
Those
heard.
tickets,
Yes.
you pay for everything. You don't get that. They don't. They invite you.
Right.
You're invited.
Right.
And your friends can't come, but you pay for everybody to come. So basically, it's a fundraiser,
Including yourself.
Yes. Oh, you pay for
Just
pay
like
for
the rock
event.
and roll, just like the
Wow.
Rock and
Pay
Roll Hall
for
of
the
Fame.
event. Yes.
That's the
Which
big.
is-
That's the big complaint with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is, hey, I win the award, fantastic. Now here you go, give us the money, so you can, so you can go.
Even
and
the
see-
You're talking about the you're talking about the one in
Wow.
Cleveland, not here.
right, the
Right.
one in Cleveland. Yeah, exactly.
So there would be. Look at how big that plaque is around it.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. That's
Yeah.
what I thought it was. Okay,
Oh, it's the real.
yeah,
it's the
that's-
real thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the
Look at that.
real Emmy.
yeah, right.
But it was, like I said, the plaque wraps around the, so I'll send that to you.
Yeah.
So you guys can see exactly what it was. But it was 2009. So
There you
that's the past and that happened already. So once I take this thing from Ronnie Romero's shelf, I'm
Yeah.
going to have one of those.
You're all set, and we know a guy
It'll
that,
balance
that can
the shelf
engrave it and
nicely.
I
everything
can
for you.
engrave
We
it
do.
perfect. And when I'll show you how to spell my name correctly. It'll be set.
So what were you doing? What were you doing back in 2009 where you end up playing on this news program with?
I've always been playing the drums. So
Yeah.
it was just, I was playing in a group and it came about. That's how did we get Rick Nielsen? I think we were re-recording a Cheap Trick. I'm trying to think how the group, because I wasn't in a group with him,
Right.
but he was at the event. And then it was like, well, we're going to, and that's why I'm saying like when they're filming Dynasty or something, how old am I?
Wow. Welcome to the 80s.
No, we were just he was showing us Ronnie Romero was showing us the thing with Charlie Adams, who's from Joliet, the drummer with Yanni.
Mm-hmm.
Linda Evans was the person that brought Yanni, the nice, cute Greek kid from Minneapolis. He meets her in Hollywood. She dumps $1 million into this cool group of his. Next thing you know, Yanni is Yanni. And
Linda Evans was on Dynasty.
Linda Evans was on Dynasty. So we were talking about Dynasty. Dynasty was actually produced by Cathy's aunt, Buddy
So
Rich's
there's a whole
sister.
thing
So
here.
Kathy was
Yes.
on Dynasty as a teen actress.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, you have a lot of
It all
this is
connects.
I'm like the Kevin Bacon of drums.
Yeah.
It's like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but it's 7 degrees of Potter. You could mention any band in that friggin' museum back there. I've either played with them, they've wanted me in the group, or I know someone in the group or I bought a flight case from them.
Right.
But realistic, I think I've played in
Every one
group.
of them. Yes.
I mean, you go in Styx. I auditioned for Dennis DeYoung's solo band, and he said, "No, you remind me of Tommy Shaw." And I mean, it's not a compliment. He goes, "Potter, I love you, but really, you remind me of the guy I don't like."
Oh, there you go.
I didn't just say that, did I? Okay.
Yeah.
Then Cheap Trick. One day, I'm a skinny, rotten little kid still living with my parents. I lived with my parents till I was 50, but so what? I'm laying in bed. I get woken up by Rick Nielsen. He's like, "Hey, Potter, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm sleeping." He said, "You want to come play drums?" And I'm thinking he wants me to come like playing, like
For Cheap Trick?
yeah, like, well, no, I didn't think he meant that, but yeah, it was like, probably like the late 80s when Bunny was having some back problems. And Potter, come on out. We were going to go play in Houston. It was like a big festival, 38 special, Cheap Trick, whatever. It didn't happen. But yeah, so I mean, I have all kinds of stories in, and we played Summerfest, like when eventually, not Summerfest, I keep saying that, Chicago Fest.
Oh, okay.
When we played, it was Cheap Trick, Joe Walsh, Steve Dahl, and Teenage Radiation. Because once we get my drum set in here, my real, Teenage Radiation drum set, that yellow and black kit of mine, that was the kit I played. But yeah, so that too. I mean, each of these groups, and then who else? What else? Every
band
artifact in there. The only guy I haven't really played with is Muddy Waters because the guy's 107 years old, and I'm only 92. So I was young, and I was too young to play with Muddy Waters. But I guarantee you, I did play with Buddy Guy though.
Yes, you did.
Yep.
So you work and Buddy Rich. So it all works out. The only one I haven't really done work with is Buddy Epson from the
Beverly Hillbillies.
from the Beverly Hillbillies. But I'm sure Jethro was a big Greg Potter fan.
Yeah, maybe he is.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Buddy Epson's a pretty good mandolin player.
There you go.
Yeah.
So realistically, 7 degrees of Potter at this point, because we can go anywhere in the museum and somewhere I am involved.
Yeah, excellent.
Nice.
Okay. So now you see why it's a 2-part episode with Potter?
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys I went to the bathroom?
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have another degree because my niece is actually really good friends with Rick Nielsen's grandson. They played soccer together on some national soccer program.
Well, there you go.
There you go. So this is starting to work
Everyone's
out.
connected.
Exactly. And I've been kicked before, like a soccer ball.
There we go.
So all this stuff does work out.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
No, I don't know,
We're
but
just-
I do have a question though.
yeah, what's that?
You said you played with Buddy Rich.
No, I didn't. I did get to meet him at one point.
Okay, you didn't.
I never. No. The lightning strikes me when I play, and the man's been gone 37 years.
Right.
And Cathy will tell you, you didn't play with Buddy Rich. There was a time that Cathy was. There was a guy named Carl Palmer.
Okay.
Remember that? Cathy's a teenager again. She's a kid. He's already a rock star. Was he a star then? Was he famous when Buddy pulled him on?
No.
Okay.
Oh, when he pulled him on stage?
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
So, and Carl was kind of a well, not kind of, he's a great drummer and hotshot drummer. Jacking, Buddy's daughter. Because,
Jacking?
Well, I'm saying jacking in that.
What is that terminology?
You said
exactly.
Well, he was hanging around to hang out with Buddy.
Well, yes.
And making this little girl
Yes.
think that there's something going on with this 30-year-old rock
20 years
star.
older than me.
Exactly.
Right.
So, I mean, Buddy can see that. Like, hey, really? Do you really think the 12-year-old's going to... what am I doing? I mean, it would probably be cool now on Epstein's Island, but...
Yeah, let's be careful where that goes.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Well, I'm saying, but this would have been a while ago. So I'm saying, so Buddy, so here's this hotshot drummer hanging out, standing on the stage, like standing next to the stage. Buddy's like, oh, you want to come up? You
want to play something?
You want to play something? So he's like, yeah.
Ah, cocky.
Okay.
Well, Buddy counts the band off for him just a little quicker than you would think.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And Carl looks like no. So I'm saying that's basically, I'm sure if there would ever been a time where I would have.
Carl actually thought that it turned out really well.
Yeah. And what did Buddy say to you when you were gone? Yeah. Buddy went like, yeah. I mean, that's why they're playing the Superdome and I'm playing a nightclub. But really?
Right.
I'm still Buddy Rich. And who's that kid again?
Yeah.
That's Carl Palmer, father. I mean, 'cause he was he's still your friend today.
Yes,
but I mean,
absolutely.
you were like a kid and Buddy knew that this, guy was like,
He loved Buddy.
he loved, and that's cool too. I mean, I hung around Cathy to meet Buddy, but he was already had passed away 4 years before I met her.
You were hoping
Well,
he was
he's
going to
not
come
here.
back.
But her mother loved me, so
That's
And,
true.
hey, Elvis and Marvin Gaye keep coming back, so you know.
exactly.
You never know.
AI, man. AI.
That's
AI,
right. There you go.
AI. We have a hologram of Buddy right now in our friggin' living room. He just yells at me.
Yeah.
He just yells at me like when I just come in, he'll just yell something at me. You call that a something? Does he? No, he doesn't say anything.
Hey, when AI is finally perfected, I think there's going to be a Britney Spears for everybody. You know, because Britney, pass out Britney Spears is AI.
Oh, Brittany.
Okay.
I know.
Don't
She's.
pick on
I feel bad for Brittany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know. She's just been getting a tough call lately.
Yeah, she has been.
And then on
She has
top of
been.
it, the Time Person of the Year is
Don't say it.
Yeah, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Person of the year.
Person of the Year.
Wow.
No, no 7 degrees of Potter
No.
there.
No.
No.
I never,
Nothing. I got
never did
nothing
anything
then
with that.
for her.
Wow.
Nope.
You Swifty, get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan. I'm sorry, not a fan.
Oh no, I'm jealous of anybody that sells that many tickets.
Well,
I know, but person of the years. I mean, okay, great. She's an entertainer in the whole
Right.
bit. She sells
Yeah, she
concert tickets.
sings
But
and-
person of the year.
people like
I
Henry Kissinger
Exactly.
were Person of the Year.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you would expect.
Well, that's what you would expect. Something more so than dating a football player.
right.
Right. Well, who the heck knows?
Yeah.
Who
Who
the
are
heck
we to
knows?
say?
Yeah,
A
exactly.
billion people can't be wrong.
You know,
That's-
before we go any further, I have to say, I wish we had, cameras rolling because you have to see her nails.
And his jacket.
It looks like Potter's coat.
They match his jacket. This is like vibrant metallic silver coat and vibrant metallic silver
Silver
nails.
nails.
And
It's like he just-
sharpened to a point.
It's
Look
like
at
he,
this.
it's like he just got off the Saturn V.
Yeah.
Got back.
My space capsule is in the
The
back.
capsule's out
She can
back.
kill birds and small prey with those nails.
We'll never go hungry.
She can chase a squirrel up a tree.
Looks like this is a 4-parter.
That's right.
What I'm seeing here.
That's right. Now, did the toes match the fingers?
They do.
Yes.
Wow.
They're not long like this.
Yeah, they're not long like that.
That's good. That's good.
But
They do match.
But they do match.
Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the 2025 Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
We started
episode's
talking about
been going
music,
on.
but who cares?
Right.
Kathy's dating life at 12 and Potter's connections to Taylor Swift.
Which are nil.
None.
But I'll
Right.
guarantee that's what everybody listens to this podcast for.
To hear-
because if they want to hear your music, all they have to do is listen to your music. But I think
They don't get to hear us.
people listen to the podcast more when we just talk about random shit like this.
No, I love that.
It really is because everybody wants to know, who you are.
Exactly.
Is basically what it is. So I know
love
we have to
that.
talk about the Buddy Rich project at some
do.
point or another.
We do.
Yeah.
You can do that.
So why don't you tell us about that and how that whole thing just kind of came about?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the reason why I was so interested in it is because it doesn't matter how old the drummers are. And I host a lot of open jams and things like that. And just last Sunday, we had a 13-year-old kid show up to the jam. And then every once in a while, we have like this 80-year-old guy show up to the jam. I mean, the range of ages that show up are spectacular. But the one common thread that all of the drummers have is you say, well, who's your favorite drummer? Buddy Rich is always the first name that comes out of their mouths. And then
Love it.
I'll give you one guess who the second one is.
Sandy Nelson.
No, you blew your.
You probably don't even know who that is.
No, I don't.
Ringo.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
John Bonham, Neil Peart, or Ringo.
Neil.
It's usually Neil, and then it's John Bonham.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's how
like
they,
the trifecta.
that's the trifecta of, right. And I mean, that's one thing, she's had it her whole life, but I mean, my time, Cathy and I have been together how many years now?
Really?
No, but I'm saying we run into like just a long time.
A long time.
That's part two.
Yeah, I was just going to
That's a
say.
whole other podcast.
Remember when I was saying Carl Palmer was jacking her? I jacked her harder.
There you go.
You said people want to listen to that.
Yeah.
So I got to wear the silver jacket, man. That's right. Because you like doing that,
Gotta match
when that
the
space
nails.
shuttle's coming back. That friction alone, I can get melted.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, like we talk. I mean,
that's true.
It's still, it just still blows me. Like we were just in England. We were just in London, Manchester. We played Bridgewater Hall, and our special guest was Ian Pace.
Wow.
Yeah,
Drumming
okay.
icon drummer from Deep Purple.
Right.
Which, like you said, you mentioned favorite drummers. Ian will be top 10 if you're talking to.
He's like a drummer's drummer.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm just saying he and his playing, but when he talks about Buddy Rich, it's like you're talking to a 12-year-old. I mean, his just, they go back to like when I first heard, because back then you didn't have YouTube and you listened to a record. So you would hear this amazing playing, be it a drum roll or something. You didn't know that the man was doing it with just his left hand, or I mean, now you see it and you're like, he's better than, well, you did when you did start seeing him on television and stuff. But I'm getting back to just drummers, like you said, drummers, they bring up Buddy. Right. It's even in sports, I guess you would still get like Michael Jordan, but now people pass even Jordan now and say, well, no, it's Kobe, or now it's, or, you know, sports people, or actors. But when it comes to picking up a set of sticks, at some point, you see this Buddy Rich guy, right? And it's different because even the great Neil Peart, or who was the other guy we were with? Bill Ward from Black Sabbath.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know, but you would think this crusty old Englishman that.
But he told us that story, how he and John Bonham would sit in a room with a record player, and the two of them with a snare drum would sit and try to, what did he do there? What did he do there? And try to break down what he was doing.
That invented rock, like heavy metal rock.
Right.
But John Bonham,
trying to figure out what Buddy was doing.
Right, because you would have at that time a record, so you'd pick up the needle, drop it on something, and listen to it.
Then go back.
And you've got these two men trying to figure it out.
Right.
And that to me, I mean, I don't know any other.
But so many drummers that I know have told me that same story, that growing up, that's what you would do. You would listen to a recording, either rewinding a tape or putting the needle back on a record and try to figure out what he was doing. You couldn't figure it out.
And then when you see it now that you're older and they've got this thing called the internet, and you see this man do it, it's like scarier because it's like, yeah, there are, there's probably like a 9-year-old Indonesian child that plays the drums and cooks and, but it's still not Buddy Rich. Because the other thing that these kids that do this on the internet and they play along to a record and stuff, Buddy invented that stuff.
Right.
And then he did it with, he did it with a band. Right. Because when you play along, when you
Plus
see
he was doing it since he was 2 years old. That's the other part.
Yeah, the talent. But I'm saying he also got out there and he invented the stuff.
Right.
It's so much easier to put on.
Like people will always send me videos of drummers, right? Other like young drummers coming up. Look, he plays just like Buddy. But no. Well, it's like that. And you're like, okay, anybody can imitate somebody, right? You can imitate. He created it. Right. So there's a difference between imitation and creation.
And, and that line goes across all instruments.
Anything.
What you said about, somebody sitting in a room and trying to figure out what he did, that goes for guitar players.
Absolutely.
That goes for trumpet players. That goes for bass players. That goes for, that's just what musicians do.
That's what musicians do.
And I think that's what created the longevity for somebody like Buddy Rich, because he did invent it. So we're going to try and figure it out. Just like a guitar player is going to sit down and figure out, okay, how the hell did Hendrix do this?
Right.
Right. Well, it's because he created it. He invented it. So we're going to try and learn it. I'm not going to go try and learn how, somebody 20 years later is just copying Hendrix.
Exactly.
Did it?
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. And that
so no, don't send me any more videos of young drummers who think they're Buddy, because I don't watch them.
Yeah. Right.
I watch them.
He watches them.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, because if the the kid's that good, maybe he'll trip, maybe he'll hurt himself. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll break a bone. You know what I mean?
Maybe you'll manage him.
Maybe. Thank God none of these kids are good looking. I can tell you that much. I lose my hair and teeth. I'm done, kids. Kathy still thinks I'm 25.
All right.
No, you see she's
I've
my
seen
passport.
your passport.
But same deal with, so I am,
You're not 25.
Okay, but we had Ian Pace and that son of a gun.
He's
that
great.
man, he's still like, it's just amazing that these guys still want to play like Buddy Rich.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, no, I don't really play like Buddy Rich at all, but
you do one heck of a job in that band.
Well, I mean, we're doing what,
and that's what. But you asked the question,
because you're technically the Buddy Rich in the Buddy Rich band.
He's
so-
holding that throne. Yes.
Right. But in no way do I think I'm Buddy Rich. But Kathy's going to explain, because I'll take this whole thing over. I'll make this a 6-parter. I'll make this a goddamn
10-parter.
miniseries. I'll make this a friggin' docudrama.
Yeah.
I'll make this a docudrama mama something.
Well, let us know. We'll call in, Dr.
Yes.
Phil. We'll get Dr. Phil in here.
Please.
Or if you guys want to take a break and just come back, I'll take it.
Stumping
We'll
for Dr. Phil.
just let it roll.
Yeah.
We'll just sign up a bunch of seasons, 10 episodes per
There you
season, and we'll
go.
just keep
Yeah.
this thing
I
going.
like it.
Yeah, it's called Potter Max. Potflix. But no, I mean, what we're doing with the band. Well, you tell them how we're doing. Nobody's going to replace Buddy
Of course
Rich.
not.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's had.
But again, this is something that kind of irks me too, is that just because someone is no longer with us and they had a creation, either music or whatever, it doesn't mean because that person's gone that should stop,
Right.
right? Why should that stop? So, we went to see Queen and Adam Lambert.
Right.
And Adam Lambert does a fantastic job. He's not Freddie Mercury, but should that music have stopped because Freddie's no longer here? No.
Absolutely
And
not.
they fill stadiums. So people love coming out to hear the music.
Right.
And that's why we do what we do. Buddy asked me before he passed away, try to keep the band working, try to give something back to young people, try to, keep the band working, and not an easy feat. So when Gregg and I got together, I had done memorial concerts every year and with all the greatest drummers in the world and blah, blah, blah. But I think what he really wanted was the band to be out on the road, bringing the music to people as often as possible, not once a year.
So are the members of the band the guys that actually played with Buddy?
Some,
That's-
yes.
So it's,
in New York,
Buddy's
we have
band
an
and you're just keeping it going.
all alumni band. There's alumni in Los Angeles. We have alumni in London. So we can put together horn sections wherever we go.
Right.
Which is cool. But Gregg sitting in the drum chair is a departure because we approach it in a different way, because it's all about the vibe that Buddy had and the passion that he brought to his music. No one will ever play like him, ever.
Sure.
No matter how much you practice, no matter what you do, no one will ever be born that can do what he did.
Right.
So when we go out, we approach it in a different way. When you walk in and you see the band set up on the stage, it's going to bring you tears because it's exactly as if he were there.
Big band or
Big band, 18 people,
Nice.
17 people on stage. So yes.
I listened to some of the music actually on Pandora.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
It's
I
cool.
did.
So, we come at it not like anyone will ever be Buddy again, but again, the music should still be heard.
Right. And you're right. I mean, if we were talking earlier, if Styx can replace guys, if Styx can replace Dennis DeYoung, if you can replace somebody and still maintain the integrity and still
Absolutely.
maintain the
That's
band.
it.
I think where a lot of people tend to have the problem is, okay, now there's not one single original member.
There's a few of those bands out there that should remain nameless.
Right.
Yeah, there's a few of them out there now.
Yes.
And that's okay, but don't charge $350 a ticket.
There you go. and no one is familiar.
Yeah, you guys were talking to Ron Romero earlier, and he's
Yes.
got a Eagles tribute band called
Right.
the Flatbed Fords, right?
Yes.
Well, did you see the latest? What they've got Vince Gill playing with them now, and they've got Glenn Fry's son playing with them now,
Right.
And they're still charging $350 a ticket to see the Eagles. And Ron's like, you can come see us for $10.
Right.
Yeah, but the only problem is when he goes to sell the T-shirts, I've taken them all.
Yeah, there's none left.
They're none left. They're all at Potter's house. I took the shirts. So that dude's out on the road with nothing. Exactly. But
that's true.
That is more of what we wanted to do, or what Cathy wanted to do, as opposed to finding the next Buddy Rich. Now that it happens to be this idiot from Chicago. That's where you start to see stuff written on the internet that might scare you a bit.
I don't think anybody.
No, they don't.
I don't think Buddy's fans would like anybody sitting in that chair.
Well, that's the other
right.
thing.
True.
That's the other
Right.
part of it.
But
But
we
then you have
should
the
say
ones that absolutely love all of it, and then there's always going to be people that say, "Rah, rah, rah, rah."
But I mean, there are people that'll say like, Jordan was the best.
Right.
And no one will ever, okay, we talk musician wise, I still think Eddie Van Halen was the best.
Right.
And I think that when that guy came out and you heard that first record of theirs, I think he's the best. Whereas, what a Clapton had more feel, and
Clapton was God.
Right, exactly.
And then
but Jimmy Page was even better.
Or you certainly don't knock Hendrix.
Right.
Yeah, but Van Halen. So then you can start that, not fight, but you know what I mean? You just.
Well, it's what speaks to you. It's
Exactly.
different music speaks to different individuals. And,
Right. And like you said, you saw Queen with Adam Lambert.
Yes.
There's
Brian
probably
May
people out there that say
that
Adam
say
Lambert.
you should never have even thought of
Never
stepping on the
accept them.
stage.
Right. They are Freddie Mercury fans.
Exactly.
Right.
But they're playing the music.
Yeah, there was
That's
people that
it.
hated Sammy Hagar, and then there was people that hated whoever the guy was after Sammy for a little while. The dude from Gary Sharon from
Gary Sharon
Scream.
from
Yeah,
Extreme.
right.
Yeah. I mean, and the one that comes to my mind right now is ZZ Top.
Right.
That's only 3 guys that have been together for
Ever.
60 years.
78
and
years.
the one guy died. Now
So what should we do?
So
Now
they
what?
they bring in his guitar tech.
It was his tech, yeah.
That's
No,
what they
he's
did
playing.
in Aerosmith with
Yeah,
the drummer.
the drum.
They brought the guitar tech.
really?
The drum tech.
the drum
Right.
tech.
No
Yeah.
kidding. No, that's smart. Yeah. And the same thing happened with Metallica too. When remember, I don't know, geez, probably about 10 years now, where James Hetfield got burned from a pyrotechnic or something like that.
Right.
Oh, and they bring the
And
tech in?
they
the
brought
tech.
the guitar tech
because
in.
those guys, they know the set better than I mean, they actually know it like the band because
Right.
they're with
Yeah.
the band, and they usually they play well. And actually, then you're getting 2 jobs for the same one price.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you could go set that drum set up.
Oh, and
by
then
the way,
play
and
it.
play Walk This Way.
Right.
Boom. You don't have to pay him twice.
You know, the name of the band is escaping me right now.
Yeah.
But the bass player from Sublime has a side project, and he played a little club down the street, and I can't think of the name of the band right now, but the whole thing came about because all of their guitar techs, bass tech, drum tech, whatever, they all learned the Sublime parts. And then he's like, you know what, let's put a band together. And then they spray something. Oh, geez, I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah, I don't.
I have a little bit of trivia for you about
Yeah.
Sublime.
Yeah. What's that?
Brad, the original.
Trivia for 300, please.
There you
Exactly.
go. Brad, the
7
original
degrees,
singer.
Name a band, and between Kathy and I, there's a story.
There's a story.
that we touched it.
Yes.
Like we were almost like the. Tell them.
Spray Allen, by the way.
Spray Allen?
Spray Allen.
Allen.
is the name of this side project. And it's all of their like guitar techs and drum techs. Wow.
That's crazy.
And they performed a show. Sublime played a show down over in Tinley Park. And then this local bar down the street, they wanted a place to have an after party so their side project can just jam. And this place held like 100 people. It was this little intimate, performance
Right.
of his guitar techs after they finished over here in Tinley Park.
So Sublime still actually go out without the man who created the band.
I'm assuming so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Sublime fan, and I don't know their history.
Either
but-
was
Right.
Kathy.
I-
She'll tell you.
I'll tell you the story
right now.
about it very quickly.
Watch this.
Brad,
Listen to
who
this
was
one.
the creator of the band, his parents lived next door to my mom in Palm Springs.
Oh, no kidding. All right.
So when they had done their demo, the parents asked me if I would listen to it because they needed a manager.
Okay. Well, okay.
And so I listened to it.
She's like, this sucks. Really?
There you go. This sucks, but there's Gregg Potter in Chicago. Come take my dad's life over, you little bastard. But
I could have been Sublime's
She could have
manager.
been Sublime's
Yeah.
manager.
There you
No
go.
kidding.
Yes.
Wow.
She would have been a junkie by 19. But so what? She'd be rich and a junkie with no hair and her teeth be falling out.
Bam.
But damn it, you got Potter now. You got nice teeth, and you all still got hair.
There you go.
Boom, it's all
Perfect.
set up.
You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast.
I'm Christy from Crime Cave Podcast. I've had a huge interest in true crime since my days of watching marathons of Snapped back in the mid-90s. I needed an outlet to talk about the cases that have haunted me for a very long time. With each episode under 20 minutes, I shine a light on some of the most bizarre cases in the last 50 years. Join me in The Crime Cave.
Hi, I'm Rick Anthony. I'd like to thank my radio brothers, Ray the Roadie and Hollywood Mike, for allowing me to tell you about my podcast, the Someone You Should Know podcast. We spotlight musicians, authors, and interesting people, and we like to say we're making a difference one artist at a time. The podcast is heard twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, and you can check it out on your favorite streaming platforms and on the web at someoneyoushouldknowpodcast.com. That's the Someone You Should Know podcast with me, Rick Anthony. Making a difference, one artist at a time.
So how'd you come across the job? Were you over at Maureen Valley or something and looked up on a job board and it was up there looking for a drummer?
No, her and I were on a dating site.
Oh.
So once
Not true.
Oh, not. We didn't meet that way.
No, that's not it.
Match.com.
No?
No, actually, it was
I want to hear the Match.com story. I think that's going to be true or not. I think that's going to be better.
Go ahead, tell it.
I'm going to make this stuff up anyway. Who's going to tell it?
Go tell it.
Okay, so her and I've known her since, how old am I now? 75?
78?
8?
Right.
Okay, every drummer in the world knows Cathy Rich.
Okay.
Like if she opens her son's godfather is Neil Peart. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everyone knows Cathy Rich.
Okay.
Drummer, not everyone, but every drummer, because everyone, if you're a drummer and you don't like Buddy Rich, you're an idiot. Because even if you don't like him, you have to say, I like him.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm not a sports fan, but I knew Tiger Woods played golf pretty good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. I don't even know.
So you met me at the...
So I've known her forever.
Right.
So when I first met her, you know.
It was at the Neil Peart concert.
Right.
I did a memorial
concert. She would do
concert.
these memorial concerts with 10 of the best drummers in the world playing with her father's band, which at the time I didn't realize that one day will be mine. Okay. So we have this relationship for years. I've known her from the 90s.
Right.
Friends.
Right.
She's married. I already told you I lived with my mom till I was like 65.
10 years now that you left.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, I've never married and stuff, but like Cathy was married and things. So, blah, blah, blah. So we never talked about we didn't talk because really you don't.
We never talked about drums.
Yeah, you don't work on it with did your father practice?
No.
Did your father really yell at the band?
Right.
Did your dad eat breakfast? Did your dad ever?
No.
No.
Nothing like that.
No. We talked about my horror movie
Monster
models, memorabilia, things like weird
things.
Things, right? I really like 70s and 80s horror movies. She's like, oh, I like that. I like that stuff too. You know, I mean,
what? You found the one.
Seriously.
Yes, because I had a warehouse.
You found the one woman that was into a dude with toys.
Basic toys and Hammer films.
And
old English horror films.
I have a warehouse full of things that I've collected since
That's
the
true.
80s.
I'm like, bring them out.
Yeah, she's and I had normal women, and they would be like, "You leave that shit at your mom's house," and I don't really want to see a 28-inch replica unless
the
it's
shark from Jaws.
Of the shark from Jaws. She's like,
Bring it
"Where is
out.
it? I want to see it."
Yes.
Wow.
I said, "Yeah, I'll show you that later."
Yeah.
As if.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
We'll give everybody out there a second to realize what that joke was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Hold on.
go. All right. There.
Okay. Well,
And go.
Okay, it's a replica of the shark from Jaws.
All right.
Not just a great white shark, but the replica of the one used in, again, so I'm explaining in detail. She's like, I've got to see that. I want to see the exact replica of the shark from Jaws, not just a great white shark model that you can get, go to Target. They got little rubber sharks all over the joint.
No.
This is a stuff like that.
Yes.
Creature from the Black Lagoon hand. You've seen the film Creature from the Black Lagoon. In the beginning, they're chiseling out the fossilized hand.
Yeah, right.
Boom.
He has it.
Wow.
Obviously not the real one,
But a replica.
But the replica. But I'm saying that is of interest nowadays. Again, you could buy that stuff, but this would have been.
But that was how we.
But that's how we
formed our friendship.
Than oh my gosh, is Buddy Rich really have a snare drum in every room? Right. No,
it doesn't.
You go to her mom's house in Palm Springs.
Nothing.
You didn't even know that Buddy Rich paid for everything. There's not even a drum. Well, God rest her soul, she's not here. But I'm saying. No drums, no nuts. So
ever in our homes, ever.
That's what we talked about. And then,
yes,
blah, 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 relationships up.
And then he invited me to come to the Emmys.
There you go.
Circling back to the Emmys.
So
Back to
back
the
to the
Emmys.
There you
Emmys,
go.
7
All right.
degrees of Potter and the Emmy. So I win that for 2009. I get nominated again 2010.
Yes.
Kathy, I was talking to at the time. She goes, if you
get nominated again, I'm going with you.
I'm going with you. A year later. So I'm like the Prestige. I keep that friggin' I hold that trick so friggin' long that you're like, holy shit, this guy's real. So I wait a year in the friggin' weeds. Call
That's
her
right.
back.
I got nominated.
I got nominated again. Oh, I'll come and we'll go to the Emmys. So then that would be.
That was it.
So yeah, 2010, the relationship. She's not married anymore.
No.
She's,
Yeah, right.
blah, blah, blah. So yeah, 2010.
I came to Chicago. We went to the
went to
Emmys
the Emmys.
together.
Once she's with me.
That was it.
Yeah, she can't leave.
You were still in like the Palm Springs
Oh, yeah,
area.
I was living in Las Vegas at the
Las
time.
Vegas.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah,
All right.
West Coast, I'm still living with my mom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's more attractive than
This guy's a genius. This guy's a genius. He's like my hero now.
Toys.
I hate to be a jerk, but
You know, toys, live with your mom, the whole bit. He's got it.
I'm telling you.
exactly. People wonder, like, Potter, you've driven a Porsche since you were 20. Custom made boots. Yeah, you live with your parents, you idiots. That's how you spend all your money on cars and friggin'
Clothes.
toys. I got a goddamn creature hand that costs $1,800. I bought when I was 19 years old. I kept it in a warehouse until I could impress Cathy Rich, who traded me a Buddy Rich snare drum for the thing just so she could look at it. I've got a full-size great white shark head mounted on a friggin' wall, sat in a box for 20.
And a life-size pinhead.
Wait to tell you
This is a
story.
crazy story.
Wait to hear this story.
This is a crazy story.
So you know Pinhead.
But my favorite horror character is Pinhead.
Pinhead.
Okay, right.
That
Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Hellraiser
And then
movies.
we've got a
Since the very
7
first
foot
movie.
tall, like full-size replica. You walk into
replica
our
of
house
Pinhead.
and he stands.
We put lights on him as the Christmas tree.
Right. Not too sacrilegious. You come to our house and basically you die of lymphoma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get like cancer just walking in a house, or you get struck by lightning. Because for a while, we had the Exorcist girl sitting in one of our guest bathrooms. Reagan from The Exorcist.
Yes.
Oh,
we
geez.
finally
Can you
had
imagine
Head
that?
would spin and talk. It was crazy.
So they had a lot of cleanup in that bathroom.
yeah.
You just walk in and get shit.
Exactly.
Just bam, we're done.
We're done.
The split pea soup budget was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And like I said, you leave with some disease. So she loves this Pinhead guy.
Right.
Keep going.
Cut to 12 years later. Right. From we get the Pinhead. He's in our house. We have him. I just love.
She loves him. I
love Pinhead. Doug Bradley. He's the greatest. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. 1 year ago, we go to a horror convention and Doug Bradley is going to be the guest.
Okay, right.
So I get my little puzzle box and I have a cell from one of the movies and I'm like, maybe he'll sign it for me. Right.
You get
Go up
there
to
and
the
you find
desk.
out it's $200 just
Right.
to talk
For
to
him
them.
to sign.
Or $100.
Yeah, right.
But it was worth it to me.
Right.
Yeah, she's
'Cause
like,
I was
okay,
I'll just go.
We don't pay rent, and they took the car away. But shit, if I can get
Damn,
Doug
do I
Bradley
have
to
an
sign
autograph
my-
by Doug
Exactly. If I can get an autograph from this, an old Shakespearean actor that ended up doing a crap horror film, it's like now he's the most famous, but actually,
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. So as it turns out, we go up to the table. I put my little things down there. I'm like, hi, Mr. Bradley. Could you sign this for me, please? He's like he's very in character,
yes.
right? Very proper and whatever. So he's like, all right, it's like $80 per signature or whatever. I'm like, fine.
Yeah.
So I said, making conversation. No one else is in the line, just the two
no
of
one's
us.
there to see him.
Right.
At
So
that
I
time.
said, by any chance, are you going to be in England in February? So why? What's going on in England in February? And I said, well, we're playing there and we would love to invite you to come and see us. He's like, playing? What do you mean playing? Are you in a band? And I said, well, yes, it's, what's the name of the band? I said, it's the Buddy Rich Big Band. And he's like, what?
Buddy Rich, the drummer. And she's like,
Yes. And then the whole thing shifts.
His voice even
His
got higher.
voice got higher.
He didn't even go back into that scary Shakespearean English voice.
He becomes a little 10-year-old girl.
Well, exactly. He flipped it on me.
He hands you back the $80 that you just
Yes,
gave
he
him.
did.
Yes.
He said, I can't take your money.
I can't take your money. He goes, Buddy Rich. Because then he goes, well, how are you, Buddy? He's still talking.
I said,
English,
that was
but
my dad.
That's
He's
my.
like, oh
he's like-
my God.
He goes,
He starts going
I
insane.
listened to Buddy Rich all through college.
Wow.
He goes, do you remember a recording with Buddy Rich?
And there was a little girl singing. And I'm like, that was me. And he goes, no, that was a little girl and she sang The Beat Goes On. I said, that was me.
That's me.
He's like, oh my God. He said, that recording is one of my all-time favorite.
Yes.
The Beat Goes On?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Beat Goes On. That was you.
That was me.
Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-di-da-di-dee. La-di-da-di-da. Charleston was once the rage. History has been that stage. Mini skirts, the current thing. Teeny boppers, a newborn king. He goes on.
You're kidding me.
So that's what
You're
he said.
pulling a
Wow.
Doug Bradley on me right now.
So then he gets up from the table, wants to take a picture
could
with
I
her.
have a picture?
He goes, could I take it? And like he's still talking English like that,
But-
could I take a picture with you? And Ken's like, well, yeah, but could you sign my
He's like-
puzzle box?
And he literally pushed the money back.
put the money back.
Friends
He gave
and
her the money
family.
back.
Wow.
Yes.
It was
He goes,
insane.
friends and family. I can't
Gives me
charge
his
you.
email address, his contact information.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. We're like best friends now.
Best friends now. And he's a total Buddy Rich. He's like
Buddy
he starts
Rich
naming
fanatic.
stuff. I love For Sale on the big Swing Face album.
He knows every
knows
tune
Buddy
on
Rich.
every track. It was
And
crazy.
he said, and he goes, because Kathy's like, who would think that?
He said to me, who would have thought that Buddy Rich's daughter would be a fan of Hellraiser?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, no, I am. I said, you're the greatest.
Yeah.
You'll never be another Pinhead.
Right, because they had
That's
just
it.
done
They
that
had just
new
done the woman
Hellraiser
Pinhead.
movie,
Right,
and we
right,
were,
right.
and we were kind of like dogging it a little bit, and he's like, well, no, it's the brand, and I go, it's not the brand.
You're the
is,
brand.
a big guy.
All right.
I believe it's a female.
Whatever.
Not that I don't like women in movies. I'm just saying when you change a
Pinhead's a
character
man.
from a
Sorry.
scary English bitter man.
Right.
Okay,
So that was my Doug Bradley
that was the
story.
Doug Bradley story.
That's pretty crazy, though.
That is
Very.
Now, how long ago was that?
that
1 year ago.
Just last year.
Just 1 year
Last
ago.
year.
Yeah, like
Yes.
last year we were going. Yeah, we were going.
Why didn't you bring him with us?
I'm telling you, if the guy was
telling
here,
you, if he was
knows
here,
him,
he would come.
He would come hang out. He's
Oh, yeah. I
mean, they
chat
don't
with his
carry
wife. I mean, it's a whole
yes,
thing.
and he doesn't. We're thinking like he lives in England. Now
He lives in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh or
He
something.
lives in Pittsburgh.
Really?
Exactly. It's
Wow.
like we're going to ruin a lot of
Yes.
imagery. is
Scaring
gonna
the
be ruined.
Pennsylvanians.
If he had been in England, he could have driven you from Manchester to.
You know what? This is part 7. Dude. You don't want to hear about
can't even get into that.
England trip.
no, it's about. We had a little discussion
Yeah, we
before.
had a discussion before you got here.
Right, right,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
right.
It was
Harrowing
actually,
car experience.
It would have actually helped us
Right.
Yeah.
if we could have
If
had
Doug Bradley had been driving, it would have
Yes.
been much better.
In costume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that too.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I sent him the picture of the Hellraiser wrapped in the lights for Christmas. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah, he's like that's and like he
beyond.
said too.
So did he give that to you?
No.
No?
No.
I had that for years.
Yeah, we had that. It
Wow.
was just a matter of because getting back to
It
who
was
would
just a
think-
weird
I could never
circumstance.
get anyone to come to those horror festivals with me.
Oh,
like
I
I, said
love those
prior
things.
to that's what you're saying. I may be your hero.
Yes.
I mean, actually, I'm sometimes my hero. In that. How did you
I'm
talk?
my own
how
hero.
did you first of all talk this?
How do you
to
get
move back
how do you get a
from
pretty
Palm
girl?
Springs?
Yeah.
Get her to move out of Palm
And then likes
Springs,
horror
come to
things.
Chicago and look at your friggin' toys that your mom didn't even let in the house anymore. I mean, it got to be that I have storage spaces. I spend more on storage than like the King
rent.
Tut exhibit. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, oh, it's on tour. Yeah, that's Potter's friggin' toy collection. Yeah.
True
I don't know.
story.
I don't know where to go from here.
Where do you go from
I'm
Pinhead?
I'm completely blown away.
I've seen it. They changed the sign from public storage to Potter
Potter
storage.
storage.
The whole building.
Because I've paid for it. At this point, well, now Kathy pays for it, but I prior to that, I paid for all this stuff. No, I work for it. I work for all
He
of
works
this
hard.
stuff. I
Right.
work hard.
He
I work
does.
hard. But it was. I don't know where I was at now.
I don't know. I'm blown away. I'm
Oh,
just, I'm
it
just, I'm
ended
just
with
lost.
the-
Right.
Pinhead.
'Cause I didn't want to get into the driving to
Yes,
Manchester
yes.
because we are here actually to talk about a performance we do have coming up. Does this show go out live or is it come out When does it come out?
It will come out in a few weeks.
Oh, okay.
When is the show?
Well, we
The
have
21st.
The 21st of December at the Arcata Theater. So no, we're not pushing that here, is what you're telling me in a nice way.
That's a, I don't know. We'll have to check the schedule. Why don't you talk about it?
We will talk about it.
We'll
though.
talk about it in case you can use it. Otherwise, this can go into part 4, and then just go part 4B.
There you go. Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. No,
Yeah,
tell
we're doing
us about it. At the Arcata Theater.
At the Arcata Theater, we're doing our Christmas show
On the 21st.
on the 21st of December in St. Charles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a
Groovy
great
Christmas.
theater.
Yeah.
We love
great
it. This is
theater.
our third time there.
Yeah.
Third time doing the Christmas show.
Onesti Productions,
Okay.
Onesti.
Ron Onesti,
Ronnie
was
Onesti.
great.
Absolute best Chicago
Fantastic.
venue. The best producer of shows.
Yeah.
You know, anything around here. I mean, there's nothing.
He's the man.
He's the man. He's got those 2 theaters. He's got the Arcata and the Display.
We've played both
They're run
beautifully.
beautifully. And
You guys should come.
yeah, you guys are welcome to come.
Absolutely.
Be it,
Let's see.
yeah.
Thursday night?
Look at
It's a
your
Thursday
schedule.
night.
It's a Thursday night.
Oh, it is a Thursday
Yes,
night.
it is.
Right before Christmas.
Oh,
Right
so
before
there's
Christmas.
a chance I'm not playing. That's
Ooh.
my problem. Everybody
You
always
play
says, oh yeah.
On a weekend.
Oh, yeah. But
Your weekends will be your shot.
I mean, every once in a while we do. Like we played last Thursday, but I doubt if we're playing on the 21st.
Well, you're welcome.
more than welcome.
You're both welcome to come.
It's a fun show.
Right. And at that point, then you can sit back and judge my Buddy Rich abilities.
there you
And
go.
can say, and then you can
Like
just look-
everyone else.
Yeah, just shake your head and go, you're nobody.
No, I wouldn't.
somebody.
I wouldn't know the difference. I wouldn't know the difference. I am not. I don't know that much about drums. I just know they go bop, 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 and that's it. That's what
Okay.
I listen to. Yeah. So we're
Okay.
good.
Well, well, then see what the feeling you get. I mean, like we were saying, that what we're trying to do is bring the vibe of, I mean, when you did see Buddy and what has kept him alive so long is that he wasn't just, not only was he a drummer's drummer, but even if you look at was it Al Pacino that wrote a whole piece on like, what was
Going to see Frank
Going to see
Sinatra
Frank Sinatra.
at Carnegie
Right.
Hall.
Right. Oh
and
yeah.
with Buddy.
And he goes,
And he like totally forgot that Frank was there.
Right.
He just said, I
he
couldn't believe what I saw.
Now that
right.
I understand completely.
yeah,
That-
he explained,
that I
he
understand
said,
completely.
I got there early and I see a drum set in the front of the stage. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell am I came to see Frank.
Yeah. Why is this in the front?
Why is there
Yeah.
a drum set here? And I'm going to have to sit through some guy banging on the drums before.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
Then it
then
happened.
it happened.
Right.
The Buddy comes out, does it, whatever. But the way he explains,
The way he wrote it,
Buddy
it's
plays,
unbelievable.
and I'm saying that's more of what we're doing, other than, my God, he perfectly note for note hit the drums like Buddy Rich. We play his material, we play his actual charts. We have alumni members, men that played the stuff.
Right.
And that's really, and then you have Cathy that at least stands on the side of the stage and crosses her arms and knees or shakes her head.
Yeah. I will tell you this. This is what I know about. This is what I know about Buddy Rich, and I will tell you this. But he was animated.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a show. I
Showman.
mean, you could put those drums center stage and you understand it completely. You could turn off the volume on a video or whatever and just watch him and you feel the groove.
Okay. Well,
That's
there
it.
you go. That's exactly what Al Pacino talked about.
Right.
You're talking about, you're a musician, obviously. So, I mean, you would even pick up on more of that, but I'm talking, Al Pacino really didn't say I'm a musician and I understand rhythmically what he's doing. He just said, I saw this man.
I saw something that I
had never
couldn't believe.
Right.
And that to me is
That's pretty amazing.
I find this so surreal that we're sitting here talking about Buddy Rich in front of his daughter like she's not here.
She calls him Buddy Rich. She calls him Buddy.
Yeah,
and like when you see, like we've got all her stuff. Buddy used to sign like birthday cards to her, Buddy Rich.
Yeah,
autograph stuff as Buddy Rich.
Thanks for being a fan.
and nobody ever says Buddy. Nobody ever says Buddy.
Buddy
in
Rich.
Chicago, there's only one Buddy, and his guitar is hanging up over
Buddy
there.
guy, exactly.
But it's always Buddy Rich. For some reason, you have to say his first name and his last name.
He called me Cathy Rich for the first 2 years.
It got weird, once she took her shirt off. I said, you know what I mean? Because then I had to stop paying her.
Wow.
Whoa.
Don't get me going.
We got to call Dr. Phil now. Dr. Phil's got to come in right now to this episode right now.
Yeah.
It's going to take a turn for the worst. Trust me.
Yeah. Doug Bradley could be in the band by Wednesday of next week.
Man.
Okay.
So you guys got anything coming up after the holidays or?
Yes, then we go to Los Angeles. We're playing
LA.
at Vibrato, which is Herb Alpert's fantastic, beautiful
January.
club out there.
Yep.
Yes. And then we go back to London. We're doing Ronnie Scott's for a week.
And then that rock and roll fantasy.
Oh, we're doing
thing
a rock and roll fantasy camp.
Oh, are you really?
Yes.
Wow. No kidding. Have you ever done that before?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've done that. What was it now? Like
the 7 times.
I'm a counselor. And then
no kidding.
you get 2 for 1.
He's a counselor.
Imagine paying all that dough and then Potter shows you how to play the drums. Hey, watch this. You just twirl the sticks and smile.
Smile away, boys. Smile away.
And just twirl those damn sticks and wear your mom's clothes. Boom, that stuff's going to work.
There you go.
And all these kids go home and go right into therapy.
Exactly.
The only thing is to afford it, you can't be a kid.
That's true. Those fantasy
Who did we have?
camps
We had the plumbing king of Canada.
We had him.
We've had the head of Motorola.
Right.
I mean, the guys
These
that
are
come
like-
out. This is like big dough.
Right.
Big. But as it turns out, you meet some
amazing people.
Amazing people that that their heart is like, because
They
there's something about
so
being
love
musicians.
music
They so love music
that they just want to be around it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
You're immersed for 4 days.
Yes, you meet
don't
them on
come
Thursday.
out into the light ever.
Wow.
It's crazy.
You meet them on Thursday. Because what the counselors do is you put a group together. So
They give you 5 people
Yeah.
that by the end of the 4 days, you have to have a band.
right,
Right.
and you perform.
play a show.
And you
You play
perform.
a show.
Yes.
How long of a show? What is it? Like a 30-minute set? What is it?
I think about 4 tunes,
Right.
but then you get up and play with. There are usually like 3 or 4
Guest
Like
stars.
Superstars. or
Right.
something.
Right. So like the one the one we're doing in March, it'll be Michael Anthony from the bass player
Yeah.
from Van Halen,
Right.
Warren DeMartini, the guitar player from Rat. I mean, it's all heavy metal stuff,
Rock
more
stuff,
stuff, not
right.
jazz. Tommy Aldridge, the drummer from Whitesnake, Ozzy,
Yep. Right.
and Sebastian Bach from Skid Row.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
basically, if you sign up for this camp, you're going to play a Rat tune, a Van Halen,
Right.
a Skid Row tune, and
Right.
with Tommy Aldridge, you'll play like an Ozzy tune or a Whitesnake. But I'm
Right.
saying, so that's what you work on with these guys.
Right.
And then so in the set, you'll play with those guys, then you'll play your own set. So I think you play
Right. You get to play once with the star.
with the star,
quote
and then
unquote.
you play your show. So about 4 tunes, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, it's enough that that's all you can really put together in those 4 days. But I'm saying you get 5, 6 people from around the world,
that
and
you
you
have to put in and make a band.
and you make a
Right.
band,
Wow.
and you rehearse, and you just. But it's one of the things. You meet them, you don't know their names. By the end of it,
You're like, we're still
crying
friends
when-
with every single band
yes.
we've
Right,
had.
right.
They're
Yeah.
just, they become like part of your family.
Yeah. Right. Oh, that's great. That's great.
You've
So-
had this
yeah.
shared experience that you can't really explain to anybody.
Right. So it's not an instructional thing. It's like, oh, you all got to know how to play because in 4
Yes.
days we're playing
gonna
round
play-
and round.
Well,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to play it
Yeah.
with Warren, with the real guy.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
we've done it with I don't know. We had
We
like
did it
Vince
with Paul
Neil.
Stanley.
Paul Stanley from Kiss.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or take, for instance, we did it with Joe Perry once.
Okay.
Yes.
So the band I was counseling didn't have a drummer.
All right.
So I played the drums with Joe Perry.
Very nice.
So when we're done, he's like,
What
"Hey,
song did you play?
I played Train Kept the Rolling,
There you go.
Sweet Emotion. And then Train Kept the Rolling. Are you an Aerosmith fan?
Semi. Yeah.
Okay. If you listen to the record, the song starts out, like the standard blues, bam, check it, bam, bam, check out. Then and halfway through, they kick into the live version,
Okay.
which starts out with this pretty fast drum roll, whatever.
Mm.
So we play with Joe with my band that we had, and when we're done, he's like, "Hey man, we haven't played Train Kept It Rolling like that since '78. That's awesome. Where'd you get that shirt, man?" So I'm like, he was just like, he's like, man, Joey doesn't have that energy anymore, man. But in a cool Boston accent.
Yeah.
Potter. What's your name?
Potter.
It's your name, Potter?
Yeah.
Potter, man, okay. Fast forward. We're done for the day, and Joe's, talking with Cathy, they're talking about Buddy Rich. He's like,
Shocker.
we're playing in Vegas. So were we in LA or where?
We're in LA.
Oh, we're in LA. He's like, we're playing in Vegas. Why don't you guys come to Vegas? And because Aerosmith had a residency at what hotel? At one of the hotels.
Yeah.
So Cathy and I go. We get to the hotel and we call his guy. He's got a guy. He goes, the guy goes, yeah, I'm going to meet you guys out in where we were sitting, like in the bar. In the bar. He's, I want to come out. I want to talk to you guys. So, all right. We're figuring they're going to tell us the show's
Canceled. Whatever.
Please go home.
Yes. Joe hates you.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Potter's an idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
Looks at me, goes, hey, Potter. Was everyone Italian? Potter. What Aerosmith songs do you know? Well, I'm thinking, well, maybe, because like when Poison was here, they brought me up and I played Rock and Roll All Night, like their encore. They let me come up and play the drums. So I'm thinking, I said, well, all of them. What do you want to do? He goes, no. Like out of the set, point at the ones you know. I said, I know all of Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, from the list, they play all the hits.
Right.
So he goes, because this would have been when Joey Kramer first hurt his back.
Okay.
So they're looking at canceling.
Oh.
So Joe had just played with me and he's like,
Go talk to
Potter, see if he'll come and play.
Wow.
So I get the set list. We look at it. I'm like, tell him I could play 80% of that, whatever they want.
Right.
He goes, well, Steven makes that decision. So let me go back. That close.
So Steven put the kibosh on it, huh?
Steven
he wanted the drum roadie.
The drum roadie, John Douglas, wonderful guy. That's the guy. He felt more comfortable because John has worked with Aerosmith since forever.
That's understandable.
But that's a pretty cool almost.
That was a nice deal. But I'm saying that came out of just fooling around at that rock and roll fantasy camp as a counselor. That Aerosmith goes, Joe Perry goes, what about this Potter guy?
Yeah.
Because we never crossed paths.
Right.
Aerosmith, when I played with Steve Dahl, I was a kid, So like, I'm thinking,
that was good.
It was good. But that was getting back to these rock and roll fantasy camps. It's an unbelievable experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
For everyone involved. It
is pretty cool.
You pay for it, but you get what you pay for,
right.
But it's worth it. You buy a Ferrari, you spend all that money. It's a Ferrari.
Right.
A Rolex watch lasts forever. It's expensive. It lasts forever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like the baseball fantasy caps and
same. It's all the same
deal.
Yeah,
same
deal. It's big money, but you're playing with
with real guys.
People that you love.
And then imagine if you really played enough that they went, wait a second, you see the swing on that guy? Bring him back.
Yeah.
Let him at least hit some.
Yeah.
Right.
Because realistically, if who knows if they didn't have the drum roadie. It would have worked.
Right.
It could have been me.
That'd have been pretty amazing.
Could have been you.
But it's all right. I've got several of those stories. That's for part 8.
Yes.
What gigs Potter didn't get, or what gigs were other drummers threatened with Potter. We hear those stories
a lot.
If you don't straighten up,
we're going to get
Potter. Yeah.
And it goes, we've got Cathy's number. We'll call her. So they threaten you with Cathy Rich.
Yeah.
And, they threaten the drummer with Potter and Cathy Rich.
All right.
They're like, oh my God, if they call her.
Wow.
And then Potter will show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cathy will drive him there.
Yeah.
Kathy will drive him and wait for him.
And bring her fingernails.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's
and
right.
she's not letting go.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting paid. Someone's getting paid. But, okay, so we talked about the gig. That's for chapters part 7.
8 and 9.
In case we can't.
Right.
But you guys are welcome to come. You're welcome to come to England with us.
Oh, great. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's not until June.
End of
we
June.
got plenty of time.
Come on.
They're talking about a possible Vegas residency, April.
Wow, nice. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Either way,
A lot of things going on.
You guys are come hang out with us somewhere, and then you could make the full assessment. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like them.
Because maybe you could turn to Cathy and say, maybe that 12-year-old Indonesian could
That
get him up
cooks
there
and plays drums.
cooks, does the whole Szechuan thing.
Yep.
Get him forget Potter. Let
We
him
could
go.
be like announcers. We could do a podcast while they're playing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, did you see how
Color
Did you
commentary.
see how he struck that snare drum?
Yeah,
This is-
yeah.
this is-
He learned that technique from the Indonesian kids.
That's right. Yeah, right.
That's right. Cooking with the walk.
Walk and roll.
Walk and roll.
He's really doing a nice walk and roll.
How do you think he'll start this next song? We'll use that Swedish swirl.
Yeah,
Okie doke.
Wow.
yeah. We've gone.
We're ideal.
We just,
Yeah,
we
this-
just took off.
yeah,
Around
We're
the
gone.
world.
Yeah,
Man,
This
and I
is
didn't
crazy.
Even, and I didn't even take anything or drink anything.
No.
Smoke
Exactly.
anything.
Imagine-
Oh, no. Hanging out with us, you don't need to. Trust me.
Right.
Well, okay, guys. Thanks for coming out. I'm
that was
sorry.
it?
That's it,
Yeah.
pal.
That's right. You've got another show.
We got
going.
another
Yeah,
show.
another
They'll be-
show. Oh, they do.
They'll be coming in,
15
standing
minutes.
behind you, like, oh, can we go on now?
Really?
Yeah. Really?
You guys might want to just go home. Yeah.
I think we're probably just going to go
Yeah,
home
I'll
now.
just text them and tell them
Yeah,
forget
tell
it.
them,
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah, we haven't even gone into what else we have not even told them about. Our shark fishing adventure. I mean, we've got the
TV show? No, don't even.
Yeah, we haven't even told you about the television show, the shark fishing. All you heard about was the London to Manchester. No,
The
Manchester to London.
harrowing ride
That's all you've
to.
heard.
At least I heard it. Mike didn't hear it.
You have to
I
tell
heard
Mike
it.
at another
You'll
time.
tell Mike some other time.
And you also heard, you see who the manager already called and checked in to see like
He said he was just pulling over to take a nap.
yeah,
Oh,
Mike doesn't
he
really
has
know
no
that.
idea.
Inside story.
You don't really know what,
Right.
but you'll laugh. You're going to get a little tear out of your
Yes.
eye.
You'll get a little teary eyed.
Little teary eyed. But all we kept saying was, he's not going to crack up this $140,000
That's right.
AMG coupe, is he? That's
right.
all we kept thinking was, he wouldn't.
Please,
do
God,
that.
don't
He
let him
wouldn't-
crack up this car.
I mean, because the materialistic piece of junk that I am, I'm thinking, who cares if Potter and Cathy's guts are splattered all over the floor? But you're not going to dent
not
this.
gonna dent
You're not
that
going to dent
beautiful
this
car.
friggin' car, are you, man? I'm thinking that's more important to this man, but
right.
it wasn't. I mean, no way. But that's where my brain was thinking. We're safe, Cathy, because he won't
Crash the car.
No, he won't crash the car. No. Well, maybe we should start a new podcast.
What's it called?
Yeah.
We'll call it Potter.
World.
Potter.
Potter's
It's rich.
Big and rich, Potter and rich.
Potter. It's Potter
Potter
rich
Rich.
or Potter. It's rich.
Rich
whatever.
Potter.
Rich Potter. Well, yeah, we could start. We could start a little weekly another podcast. We'll just talk
There's
about.
no end to the story.
There's no end to our stories because Cathy and I have now been together for
a long
a
time.
long time.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, these road trips that we go on, you wouldn't believe
Any of it.
We haven't told you about the time. Every time we're in
Do you realize they have another show coming
I don't
on?
care. I waited for 2 friggin' hours. I
I had to sit and talk to Ron Romero for
about the
2 hours.
Eagles tribute band.
You're right.
They're working more than the Buddy Rich
I love
band.
Ron Romero.
No,
I love him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He is
Such a
Yes, he
great
is.
guy.
He is, and what he's doing here.
Yes.
This
We
museum.
didn't even talk about this.
This is magical, man.
And this
This is
is what
amazing.
this is what
And you guys-
Ron gave us.
Yes.
because
Yeah.
if you remember the time when we did yours,
Yes.
we met you somewhere in
Yeah.
Hinsdale or something
Yes.
with our little portable
Yes,
recorders.
we had a office. We
Right.
had an office.
Yes.
a little
what do you
conference
call-
room.
Yes,
conference
yes,
room.
yes.
They
Yeah.
gave us a conference room at the medical. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Then
you
we
guys
talked
were-
about you a little bit. He goes, "Oh, Cathy could have come too." Like, yeah.
Yeah, but that was
He
when I
never
was,
told me he
that
was
was when
doing
I was
that.
no, that was when I was still scared of her and I called her Cathy Rich. No, it's like,
It was
Cathy.
like 6 months ago.
Oh,
No, I think it was longer than that.
it was
Was
longer
it?
than that.
Yeah, it was
a couple
episode
years ago.
24, 25. We're looking like 2019 or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So but I did
Time
say like,
flies.
and you were like, yeah, she could have came. I'd rather talk to her than you.
Next time.
No,
We'll do it again.
No, we'll do it again because there are several things we didn't even really touch, but we're ready to go.
But thank you for having us.
Yes.
Well, thanks for
Thank you
coming
Very
out.
much. Yeah.
Thanks.
Awesome.
It's been a pleasure.
Isn't it rich? Isn't it Potter? Wow, a lot of energy there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
Yeah. I kind of knew that as soon as I walked through the door here tonight. And, I thought there was like 20 people back there. I thought I walked into like a fundraiser or something back there, and it's just the two of them sitting at a table and chairs
With Ron.
With Ron,
Yeah.
and then they had somebody else on on speakerphone.
Yeah, some guy who's a manager managing them in England when they just got back from England like Sunday night or something.
Yeah.
So they're probably jet lagging still.
Yeah, a little bit, but
still a lot of energy.
I swear, we got halfway through the interview with them, and it dawned on me that we never exactly came out and said that she was Buddy Rich's daughter. I think people would have, people eventually figured that out. But I mean, we're sitting here talking about Buddy Rich like she's not even in the room.
Exactly.
That was very surreal.
Just a bunch of buds at the bar.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's pretty wild.
It was a good time.
Very good time. So as always, I want to thank everybody for listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast, and tune in every Tuesday for another exciting episode. See ya.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast is edited by Paul Martin. Theme song courtesy of M&R Rush. The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music heard on the show. The music is used to promote the guests that are featured.
Rock and roll Chicago.